So I have a question for each and every one of you guys. How many of you guys are excited for Uncharted this week? How many of you guys are freaking excited for the upcoming Uncharted movie? How many? Anybody? Anybody out there raising their hand? Anybody? Well, I wasn't excited for the movie, but I was looking forward to at least giving the movie a shot. Hey everybody, I am Robert Storms. As always, if you guys are finding me for the very first time, please do me a massive favor. Smash that like and subscribe button. That way you guys can stay up to date on all future content here on the channel. So I am a massive Uncharted fan. Played every one of the games multiple times. Big fan of the franchise. Loved the fan film that was made a few years back with Nathan Fillion. Absolutely loved it. That's the way I envisioned Uncharted when I thought of an Uncharted movie. That's the way I thought of it. Well, you know how Hollywood is. They don't want to actually do things the right way, and they done fucked up again. We saw it from the trailers. We knew it was the problem from the get-go. They announced Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. That was an issue. We all knew like they're going to go to the young version because they want an actor that they can build a franchise on, and they went with Tom Holland because they knew they could probably get 5 movies out of it if it's successful. They cast Mark Wahlberg, who was supposed to play Nathan Drake originally, as Sully, which doesn't make any type of sense. The trailers came out, wasn't really that good, didn't really feel like the Uncharted game experience that we got, and now the reviews are out on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's sitting at a 40%, and this should be no surprise for anybody. This should be no surprise to anybody that this movie is bombing the way it is because they don't care. That's the biggest problem with video game movies. These franchises do not give a shit. Hollywood does not give a shit. It's all politics. It's all money. That's all it is. They don't care about actually staying faithful to the source material. Okay, look, even like first of all, nothing against Tom Holland. Really like Tom Holland. He's not Nathan Drake. Okay, you watch those trailers and they add glimpses of the video game in there, but they don't really give you what the game is. They don't capture the heart and spirit of it, right? Sully by Mark Wahlberg, like that's like anybody with common sense who have ever even played an Uncharted game will sit there and tell you there's no way in monkey hell Mark Wahlberg should be cast as Sully. And if he was cast, then he needs to act like Sully. In the trailers, Mark Wahlberg acts like Mark Wahlberg, not Sully. And that's the problem. You cast these actors who act like these actors, but they don't act like the character. You cast people like The Rock and Mark Wahlberg. These type of actors just play themselves in every role. Mark Wahlberg is just playing Mark Wahlberg. Tom Holland, even if he does do a great job as a young Nathan Drake, the worst part of the video games were the young Nathan Drake part of the video games. We want to see older Nathan Drake in his like late 20s, early 30s, you know, not Nathan Drake who's just getting his diaper off and he got Sully, and it's a whole thing. And so I'm not surprised by the Rotten Tomato score. I'm not going to get into the actual reviews because I don't want anybody to really just, you know, I don't really want anybody to tell me what this thing is going. Promisingly cast but misleading title. Uncharted Mind is best-selling source material to produce a disappointing echo of a superior adventure film. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like they're going like an Indiana Jones route, and they're not caring about anything in the source material. So I'm not gonna go into the reviews because I still want to form my own opinion. Even though anybody who knows anything about Uncharted saw the trailers, saw the casting, and knew it was gonna be a dumpster fire of a movie. We all knew it was gonna happen. I'm not surprised that it happened. And once again, a video game movie fails because they don't care about the source material. That's why movies like Mortal Kombat that came out in 2021 had such great promise, and then they undermined it by not following the source material, where they're like, hey, we're going to make this new character, Cole Young, the star of the fucking movie, and we're going to put all the exposition around him so newcomers can understand. Just because you make a new character doesn't mean newcomers to the franchise will gravitate toward that character. They did that in the 1995 movie for newcomers who don't know anything about Mortal Kombat. You can understand everything through Liu Kang. They made that Liu Kang, who's the character that's actually established, be the central source. There was no reason why they couldn't have done the same exact thing and take all the backstory and composition for Cole Young and make that character Liu Kang. But no, they had to put this whole character in here that no one gave a shit about. And once again, they don't care about the source material. The last Tomb Raider reboot, it sucked. They took a gritty survival game and they made it a CGI joke fest. Like, the only successful video game movies in the past 20 years have been Sonic, because they listened to the fans, went back, redid the CGI on the character. It's getting a sequel because it was successful. Detective Pikachu was really, really good. But every other video game movie, whether it's the new Resident Evil, sucks donkey balls. If you're a fan of Resident Evil, you cannot enjoy that goddamn movie because it doesn't give a fuck about the source material. These video game movies don't give a fuck about the source material, and that's why they continue to fail. This was a trend that comic book movies have been in for the longest time, until finally some people came along, like Christopher Nolan, Kevin Feige, Sam Raimi, and they actually, even Bryan Singer with the first X-Men movies, right? They cared about it and they took it serious. And that's when comic book movies started breaking out. We're not going to get that with video game movies until someone starts taking this shit more serious. Otherwise, it's going to continue to be nothing but a cash grab where they just take the name, take the characters, and they add their own little fucking bullshit in there, their own politics, casting actors that don't belong in the franchise, and it's just a fucking mess. And I'm disappointed because I am a massive fucking Uncharted fan, and I was looking forward to this movie. And once again, it doesn't surprise me to see that Hollywood once again wet the fucking bed with a promising IP, and they ruin it, and then they're like, well, I guess video game movies just don't sell. No, they don't sell because you're fucking dumb, and you guys don't know how to fucking do these movies right. When fucking fans on the street who don't get paid millions of dollars can come up with better premises for a movie, that is a problem. But anyway, guys, Uncharted, 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. What do you guys think? Be sure to leave those comments in the comment box below. Smash that like and subscribe button. And until next time, as always, I am Robert Storms, and I'm very disappointed.